No, try again. If you know the song, you can clap along.
Good morning. Welcome to the UU Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We're delighted that you could join us for this service. Our mission at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. On behalf of the Sunnyhill Youth Group, I offer a warm welcome to this special service we have planned. If you're a newcomer or visitor to our congregation, please go to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill to receive more information about our congregation. If you'd like to be greeted as a newcomer after the service, please take a red mug and members will seek you out to make sure you are warmly welcomed. If you're joining us online today, please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. We'd like to hear from you and extend a welcome to you as well. We welcome children of all ages to our service. For quiet play, we have a children's area here in the sanctuary. For louder activities, we have a nursery just outside the corner entrance to the sanctuary for young children up to age 4. We also have a comfort room accessible through the back hallway from which you can hear and see the service. During our time for all ages, children will be invited to gather at the front steps for a special story. Afterward, they're warmly welcome to head downstairs for a fun and engaging religious education class for the rest of the service. A gentle reminder to everyone, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices so that we can enjoy this service uninterrupted by buzzing or ringing.
We open this morning's service with words from Pat Irby. We gather. We bring our sorrows, our disappointments, our failures. We gather for healing, for laughter, and to rejoice. We gather to find new ways of loving, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. We gather. Yes, always we gather, for it's in gathering that we find our hope.
Please join us in saying the words to light our chalice, written by Eric Hepburn.
We light this flame to remind us love is the center.
As we grow and connect, mature and deepen, love is our center.
When the light of truth burns all else away, love endures. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, Peace Like a River.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river.
It is now time for our time of all ages. If there are any children present who would like to join us up front, now is your chance. Today's story was written by Heather Avis and Sarah Mensigna. It is called Everyone Belongs.
Have I got a story to share with you? One about sisters named Macy and True. It's a tale of two girls in one fabulous show, and you're invited, so come on, let's go. Macy's the older sister of the two. She leads by example, as eldest will do. She shows up bravely, exactly as she is, an inspiration to all, a magnificent kid. Though True is taller, she's the younger one. She's bold and confident, getting stuff done. True loves meeting new people, making a pal. She's the world-changing type, a magnificent gal. Macy and True are unalike, as you see, but they know that different is a great thing to be. The sisters both wanted to glitter and glow, and together declared, we will shine in a show. The girls made their way to the stage in the park. There was much to be done, tasks on which to embark. With their arms full of tutus, capes, wigs, and a mic, they soon caught the eye of a kid on his bike. The boy, named Lamar, walked close to the stage, and the singing sisters looked up from their page. Oh hi, I'm Macy, my sister is True. Have we got the most perfect part just for you? Lamar's eyes looked delighted, but then turned sad, and he wrote something on his electric notepad. Singing is not something I do, you see. I use this device. Is there still room for me? True tossed him a ribbon so shiny and thick. Exactly who you are is exactly who we pick. We know everyone's different, no two are the same. You belong in our show, the sisters exclaimed. Lamar jumped on the stage, ribbon high in the air. Then Nova appeared, showing style and flair. She wore fancy sunglasses and held a white cane. What's going on here? She asked, bold and plain. We're doing a show. Want to help us? Asked True. But I can't see the stage. I'll need help from you two. Of course, take our hands, the sisters announced. You still have a role. You can sing, twirl, and bounce. Macy gave her a tutu. This should do the trick. Exactly who you are is exactly who we pick. We know everyone's different, no two are the same. You belong in our show, the sisters exclaimed. Now all the commotion was drawing a crowd. So many kids wondered if they were allowed to join in the show and be part of this thing. What if someone felt shy or did not like to sing? As more people gathered, True looked at each face. We're so happy you're here. You're in the right place. We need all of you friends to help with the show. Everyone belongs here. I hope that you know. Macy stood by her sister and nodded her head. Excitement was growing and starting to spread. Yet some kids felt anxious, unsure where to go. Many wondered out loud, how can I help the show? You can sing, you can shout, you can whistle or snap. You can dance, you can twirl, you can hum, you can flap. Don't like the attention? Then come on backstage. There are plenty of ways for you to engage. The growing crowd of kids leaped up to help out. With glitter and tulle, they all bustled about. If each played their part, knowing what they did best, the show would undoubtedly be a success. While True stayed quite busy with costumes and glue, pointing this way and that, telling kids what to do, Macy spotted a boy in a power wheelchair. She said to her sis, "What's his name over there?" True knew him from school. "Oh, his name is Shep." Then she noticed no ramp, only step after step. While the show could go on without Shep in his chair, she knew leaving out others is not kind and not fair. True looked at the stage and her beautiful set. Her friend turned his chair, eyes filled with regret. True knew what it felt like when she was left out. We all want to belong, she knew without doubt. But cardboard and tutus and glitter and glue could not build a ramp. This just would not do. The group became quiet. No one made a sound. The space is the problem, not how he gets around. "Hey Shep," True called out, "come over here quick. Exactly who you are is exactly who we pick. We know you belong in this show we are showing, so we'll move it to you. Everyone, let's get going." The kids in the show gathered up their props, all the costumes and ribbons, the tutus and tops. They filled cardboard boxes with glitter and tape, and they ran up to Shep, a new plan taking shape. Macy, True, and the crew then started to swarm, creating a new stage where all could perform. Shep watched the kids working, no two were alike, then whispered "wow" as True gave him the mic. Shep moved center stage, knowing just what to do. "Get in your places, it's time," shouted True. "You are spectacular, just as you are. This is your show, and you are the star." So there you have it, two girls in a show, providing a way for each kid to glow. An invitation for you to sing out your song as you make a space where everyone can belong. Ta-da!
Thank you. Grades 5 and up are staying in the service today, so please rejoin your families. Preschool through 4th grade, we will sing you to your classes.
Our love surrounds you. Here, joy has found you. Let hope abound freely. Go in peace. One more time. Our love surrounds you. Here, joy has found you. Let hope abound freely. Go in peace.
Our Share the Plate beneficiary for the month of May is Women for a Healthy Environment. Women for a Healthy Environment is a nonprofit that empowers underserved communities to build resilience, promote equity, and safeguard children from environmental health hazards. They help families, schools, and early learning centers address environmental hazards such as lead, radon, and poor air quality. These efforts create safer, healthier spaces that promote the well-being of children. If you'd like to make a gift via our online giving system, you can do so by going to sunnyhill.org, clicking on the button that says Online Giving, and following the instructions. Or you can give by text at 412-324-3130. All text gifts will go to our Share the Plate offering. We'll be passing our offering baskets in just a moment. If you're writing a check, please put Share the Plate in the memo line.
Good morning. Each week at this time, we share joys and sorrows submitted by members of the congregation. Joys and sorrows may be submitted online through our website, sunnyhill.org, or by filling out a paper form in the fellowship hall. After each joy or sorrow that we read, please respond by saying, "We hold you in our hearts."
We have a joy from Mary Caesar. Mary and her husband, Jim, are about to fly down to Charleston to visit their son and their grandchildren. Roxy, who's 17 years old, and Jack, who's 13. Jim's brother and his partner Grace are flying into Mount Pleasant and from Houston, Texas, for this family get-together. For Mary and her family, we hold you in our hearts.
We have a joy from Doug Reichenfeld. Doug and Andrea are visiting their daughter Elise and their son-in-law Colby in Salt Lake City, where Colby is stationed at Hill Air Force Base. Utah is beautiful, and they are doing well in their new home. To Doug and his family, we hold you in our hearts.
We have a sorrow from Reverend Jim. He's sorry to not be at church today for the youth service and the bridging ceremony. He has a stomach bug, and he's at home recovering. He should be fine after a day of 2 rest, and he thanks everyone for their good thoughts. To Reverend Jim, we hold you in our hearts. Let us hold in our circle of caring each person here. Let us hold in our hearts those who are unable to be here today. Let us hold in our memories those who have moved on. Let us find comfort in knowing that we are not alone.
As we listen to our musical meditation, we invite anyone who feels moved to do so to come forward, light a candle, placed in the sand, and then please return to your seat.
Sitting in the living area of the cabin during our youth retreat 2 weeks ago, we were at a loss on what our main topic of our service should be. We knew we wanted to talk about what our group's been up to this year, but oftentimes, even we didn't know what we were up to. Seriously. Stumped, we decided to look at the core values of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and suddenly it all became clear. Without even trying, the youth group has been maintaining our love for our community by embodying the core values of interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity all throughout the year. Now, 6 topics is a lot to talk about, so today we chose to focus on 3 values that our youth group demonstrates every time we meet. We show transformation by changing how we work to best fit with each new member. We show interdependence by acknowledging the unique contributions each member made to the discussion. We show justice by welcoming the new members and making sure each person has a voice. We support each other in our struggles and our triumphs. We've cried together, we've laughed together, we've made our youth group a safe space to grow into adulthood together. We are very excited to share our time and experiences within our own little bubble with the rest of the congregation today.
This first part was written by our president, Dana, who couldn't be here today to read it. As Unitarian Universalists, we know that the world is ever-changing. Some things age well, and others like milk. For example, the patriarchy. When faced with outdated systems that no longer serve their intended purpose, it is up to the people to reshape and improve them. This is what we have done with Youth Group. Not to compare our youth group to an oppressive global system rooted in misogyny, but it had its flaws too. When the junior class of youth group entered, youth group was, for lack of a better term, significantly more focused. We had a specific theme, environmental justice. Every month, we would have a guest speaker or go on a field trip to explore part of that theme. On top of that, we had a service project where we collected hundreds of pounds of plastic to create our bench. On paper, it sounds great, like a productive year for a good cause. Still, none of us were truly in it. The huge, glaring problem, we didn't know each other at all. Each of us used maybe 1 minute per meeting to do a quick, surface-level recap of our week in joys and sorrows. It felt so disconnected. Just like another weekly commitment that we had to show up for. Last year, we tried to continue a similar structure by talking about current events, but it just wasn't working. One can only discuss the implications of the election to a certain extent before it becomes boring. So we picked up table topics. What is typically an icebreaker game for people who don't know each other at all was exactly that. Discussing death and immortality and love and identity allowed us to hear each other in a way that we don't get to in any other setting. And people we would ordinarily never speak to became intellectual peers and equals. Over time, these discussions consumed our weekly youth group meetings. Surface projects became non-existent, field trips became sparse, and our theme went down the drain because all we wanted to do was talk. In the absence of what some would call real purpose, we actually got to know each other. We made our own purpose. Joys and sorrows were no longer an arbitrary thing that we did, but a jumping off point for real discussions about our real lives on a material and moral level. And one particular member had to time them so that they wouldn't take up the whole youth group session. That was me. A lot of us felt some kind of guilt for not doing enough. We felt as if our lack of output was proof that we were just a bunch of lazy bums who come to church to sit on couches and eat donuts. But the truth is, kids need a space to kick back without pressure. In 2026, there are hundreds of ways to be a failure. You are defined by how productive you are, and the less sleep you get, the better. Who has time to sit around and talk about life just for the sake of talking about it? Now, we do. At our youth group, we wanted to change the things that were no longer serving us. We are not required to participate in activities that are not bringing us joy or fulfillment. The greatest source of that contentment for us is each other. We bounce ideas off of one another, hear each other's wins and losses, and argue fiercely about why everyone else is wrong. So no, we're not all that productive, but we prefer it that way.
We are all connected. Everyone has some sort of relation to another, even in the smallest ways. And all together, we form a web of connection. As we grow as individuals, we all bring importance through our ideas and views that differ from one another. This is our definition of interdependence. In youth group, everyone serves a purpose. We all have that part to play, whether it's pushing discussion along by timing joys and sorrows, or being a balance to the spontaneous energy of other members, or maybe sparking deep discussions. It got to the point we'll even complain when someone is missing from our meetings, as their absence feels wrong. When our group had its first meeting at our youth group retreat 2 years ago, it didn't seem like we would get along. We often separated into groups, only coming together for activities and meals. Our distance from each other got to the point where our youth leaders were concerned about how they would get us to connect. When our meetings started in the fall, conversations were awkward. So, as Eden said, we began to pull discussion cards. Over time, we ended up talking more, eventually spending almost entire meetings on joys and sorrows. Despite the youth group old concerns, discussions would run over time because we were so engrossed in what other people were saying. By then, it was clear we succeeded in forming close bonds. Having resolved that issue, we wanted to branch out to see a way to make changes within their process, allowing the younger kids to develop relationships with each other and the older group members. This year, our youth group retreat was very different from previous ones. We spent all the time in the common room, hanging out and playing games with each other, and we even started a tradition of a compliment circle, where we go around in a circle giving a compliment to every single person. Every moment that we got the opportunity to split up into our own rooms, we would instead choose to be around each other. Our friendships grew so much stronger as we interacted with one another, even as the cars split up to take us home. Interdependence is coming together when we don't have to. Interdependence is feeling the absence of another member when they are missing. Interdependence is spending hours sharing about your personal lives simply for the sake of connection and friendship. We, as the youth group of Sunnyhill, are interdependent.
As I considered how best to address the idea of justice, I read through countless different definitions of the word, and one mantra that was repeated time and time again was the idea that justice is love made visible. This phrase, although so simple, suddenly made the concept of justice easy to connect to what we do in youth group. The first thing that came to my mind was our discussions that we have every week in youth group. Oftentimes we turn to table topics to lead our conversations, and after the card and reading the question, we go around the room person by person, allowing everyone the opportunity to respond. While this system might not seem that impactful or important, I think that this small act carries more weight than it appears to. As students, it's rarer than you might think to find a space where you have time to speak uninterrupted, with as much time as you need to sort out your thoughts on a subject. By giving the opportunity to craft an opinion on a topic, or the opportunity to have no opinion at all, the youth group becomes a refuge from the rapid-fire conversation that many of us take part in on a daily basis. The second manifestation of justice that appears in youth group is in the wide range of discussions that we have outside of the conversation cards. Youth group is separate from most group activities that we do, in that it isn't separated by grade, academic rigor, or personal interests, so there are an infinite number of topics that could come up at any moment. However, no topic or niche takes precedent over any other. Everyone's interests are respected, regardless of whether it's sports, TV shows, games, instruments, music, drawing, or anything that's being shared. Essentially, we've all worked together in making youth group a space that is truly free of judgment, not through a mandate or a list of rules, but through genuine interest and a willingness to learn about each other's passions. Our discussions have changed over the years as we have welcomed new members and said goodbye to old ones, but the incorporation of justice into our rituals has stayed the same. Justice is not always loud and flashy like how it's shown in books and TV shows. It can also be giving everyone the time to share their thoughts. It can be showing interest in someone's hobbies that they don't find the time to share anywhere else. It can be found in so many different small actions that you would otherwise think nothing of. These little acts truly allow us to feel at home when we convene every Sunday morning and help us to be better people when we leave. So, while we might not show justice in the stereotypical superhero way, we demonstrate it in the love and respect that we show for each other every week.
Our version of youth group has evolved from collective forces from being focused on one specific task and that task only into a circle of friendliness and community. However, we are not alone in this transformation, as newer members have offered unique perspectives on the world and other topics discussed in youth group. They also bring in other interests that may be foreign or unappealing to other members in the group. For example, when I first joined youth group, I felt very intimidated to join a group with interests, personalities, and perspectives that were so similar to each other, not to mention the tight friendships within the group. Over time, I found that my differences were an asset to the group. They were valuable, not only for making debates more interesting, but also for transforming this group into a more diverse, inclusive community. This group has been one of the most open-minded groups I've ever been a part of, and I hope that open-mindedness broadens over time. From making sure everyone has a turn when they like to sharing some of our personal vulnerabilities, our youth group demonstrates the Unitarian values and makes them its own. This community enables everyone to become a more compassionate version of themselves, and that is something I'll never let go of. Thank you.
It is just about time for our bridging ceremony, but before we get to that point, I want to acknowledge the leaders of our youth group this last year. Before I ask you to stand, I just want to give them a huge shout out from the entire congregation, but especially our youth. They absolutely adore this group of leaders, and everything that you see here, they're such a big part of making happen. And I think our youth would agree with that statement as they're nodding. Yes, there you go. You heard it here first. They're the best. So we just want to give y'all a huge thank you. If you would please stand. We have John, Jay, Tanya, Rebecca, and Kira, who I'm not sure is here today, but would you please stand? And let's give a huge round of applause. Thank y'all so much. We will now begin our bridging ceremony. Bridgers, when you're finished, just line up over there. You don't have to come up. And Rev Jim shares his love for this group and for RE in general. He can't be here to do this blessing with me, but let's leave his stomach bug at home. The bridging ceremony is a time when we celebrate our youth group seniors as they make the transition from youth to young adulthood. Our bridging seniors this year are John Forster, Eli Page, Maddie Sunaway, and Rowan Tiemann. They're each part of the Sunnyhill community in their own way. John Forster just graduated, there you go, summa cum laude from West Allegheny High School. He played the tenor sax as a member of the marching band. As a multi-talented young person, he's not only an Eagle Scout, but also received 3 blue ribbons for his pottery. He plans on getting started with the IBW number 5 as an electrician's apprentice. Next, we have Eli. Eli Page graduated from Mount Lebanon High School, where they were a varsity player on the Blue Devils rugby team all 4 years, and a captain the last 2 years, which is, by the way, just one of several rugby teams that they've played for. They were also a writer and editor of the Devil's Advocate, the school newspaper, which I hear is excellent. They're looking forward to continue playing rugby at Ohio University, where they will be studying environmental geosciences. Eli? Maddie Sunaway is a graduate of Mount Lebanon High School, where she was a member of the National Honor Society. Since she was little, she has been a volunteer with SHIM and has collected over 6,500 pounds of food and raised over $11,000. Maddie is also very comfortable up here at the microphone, as she served as a member of the Sunnyhill worship team for several years. She's looking forward to heading to Penn State main campus to study political science and philosophy. And finally, we have Rowan Tiemann, who graduated from Mount Lebanon High School as well. She's an amazing artist in many ways, including dance and painting. She was recently included in a local art exhibit, and her work was featured in Mount Lebanon magazine. As a dancer, she was a member of the Dance Conservatory of Pittsburgh and Mount Lebanon Dance Company. She's looking forward to going to Connecticut College to study communications and dance. These youth are wonderful humans. They're each talented, thoughtful, and super stinking smart. It's been an honor to watch them grow, and I know they will continue to keep this community close at heart. Would you all please come to the stage and stand right over here? And Jay, would you join me up here, please? Just hang out with me for a minute. When we welcome young people as infants or children into our community, we give them roses, tightly closed buds on stems from which the thorns have been removed. The buds are a symbol of life just beginning, whose unfolding, lost my spot, we will experience petal by petal, just as they will. The thornless stems are vivid images of our intent to protect the children of our church family from all that could be hurtful, to make their path smooth as their lives unfold. The youth before us here today, John, Eli, Maddie, and Rowan, are at the other edge of childhood and adulthood. And it is fitting once more to use those symbols, those images from the past, to speak to them and to ourselves of what is to come. Again, a rose, not the tight bud of babyhood now, but a larger, more mature rose, closer to opening into a full and glorious flower. The stem, this time, is not so carefully stripped of thorns. We can no longer hold away the hurts and dangers of adulthood any more than we can keep this rose from opening.
Though adult life is occasionally sharply painful, as well as rich in color and texture, we urge our young adults to engage it fully. And while we are not able to protect them, we try to give them the tools to protect themselves. Values by which to measure lives of worth, decision-making skills, and the knowledge of how to think instead of what we think. A heritage of the right conscience and the need to act on what the conscience demands. And a religious community in which to test and refine the possible directions of their lives. In our religious tradition, it's not just ministers and religious professionals who have the power to bless. Each of us has the power to bless another and to bless the world. Therefore, I invite everyone here to participate in this blessing. The words are ordinary words, but we make the blessing real through our shared intention.
So for our bridging ritual, we do a laying on of hands. So we ask that the families of the bridgers, the parents first, and then the rest of the families come forward and place your hand on the shoulder of your bridging senior. Would you please come up? Families can come up too. Yeah, yep, yep. And grandparents, anyone else who has a close relationship with these folks, you are welcome as well. And now for everyone else, it's a bit of musical chairs. We're asking everyone to come up and put a shoulder on a person on the stage and then layer it down all the way into the aisles. Come on up. Hand on a shoulder. Yep, hand on a shoulder. I'll just say let's begin our play. All right, hands on shoulders. Let's have our interconnected web. There we go. Let's begin our blessing.
John, Eli, Maddie, Rowan, as you step forward into your next chapter, we send with you our fondest hopes and blessings.
May life bring enough challenge to fuel your dreams, enough affirmation to honor your gifts, and enough love to nurture and give your spirit peace.
Believe in your vision, follow your dreams, and know always that when you return to us, here you will find the hands of friends. Amen.
And so now we say goodbye to the child with confidence, as well as some lingering wistfulness, and eagerly meet today's bridgers, John, Eli, Maddie, and Rowan as young adults. Let's give them a round of applause. You all may be seated.
Please rise in body or spirit.
To join us in our closing hymn. There we go.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and
Please join us in saying the words for extinguishing our chalice.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment.
These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We close our service with the following words. Changes abound around us, within us, between us, in our communities, our neighborhoods, and our beloved faith communities. Changes abound. May we each find the balance point we need as we move through the ever-changing world. The balance between the old and the new, between the known and unknown, between the familiar and perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be there waiting.
Hello. Today the city of Pittsburgh celebrates Pride Month. One of my favorite months. It's a great month. Yeah, happy Pride Month, guys. Some members of the Sunnyhill youth group will be joining Jen and Bethany to head downtown. Ooh, very soon. We hope that you all head to Pittsburgh Pride as well. Due to this, though, sadly there'll be no coffee served. I know this may seem drastic, but we really want y'all to go there, okay? Want yins to go there. So, as always, go in peace. Peace!